Are you a physician looking to take your own profitable medical expert witness practice to the next level? MedicalExpertWitness.com is the ultimate program to learn how to brand yourself as an expert witness and get yourself seen. Sure, building a reputation in the field from scratch has its challenges, but don't let them hold you back. MedicalExpertWitness.com understands what you are facing as they were once there too. In fact, 10 years ago, CEO Dr. Jordan Romano started his own consulting in the medical malpractice space. This experience has included providing expert witness testimony, reviewing medical records, and analyzing complex medical cases. Dr. Romano has become well-versed in the intricacies of medical malpractice law and has worked on cases for both plaintiffs and defendants in nearly every state in the U.S. And now, his company provides medical professionals with the tools and support they need to supercharge their career as a medical expert witness. Sounds great, doesn't it? Absolutely. Just imagine having the support you need to brand yourself as a medical witness expert too. Now that's powerful. So what are you waiting for? Visit medicalwitness.com today and gain access to a mentor who can connect you with attorneys in need for your specialized knowledge, expand your network, find new cases, and watch your business thrive. Welcome to the Virtual Reality Reconstructionist, the show where we explore the fascinating intersection of technology and safety, as well as how your work is helping to save lives and prevent crashes. I'm your host, Roger Ryan Ryder, and I'm excited to be here with you today. Today on the Virtual Reality Reconstructionist, we're talking about 3D scanning and virtual reality training for law enforcement officers. I'll say law enforcement officers and public safety throughout this episode. I want to be clear, I am speaking to a large group that includes police officers, recruit officers, police supervisors, crime technicians, investigators, including law enforcement, as well as fire for arson investigation in the public safety arena. 3D scanning and virtual reality training are two technologies transforming how law enforcement agencies approach the training programs. 3D scanning allows officers to capture highly accurate and detailed representations of crime scenes, crash sites, or complex environments. These digital scene representations enable investigators to examine evidence more thoroughly, revisit locations for additional analysis, and even share the data with experts for further insights. On the other hand, virtual reality training offers law enforcement officers a safe, controlled environment to simulate real-life scenarios. By integrating 3D scans into virtual reality simulations, officers can train for various situations, such as active shooter incidents, hostage negotiation, de-escalation, or even traffic stops. These simulations allow officers to practice decision-making skills, communication techniques, and tactical responses without exposing themselves or the public to real danger. This episode of the Virtual Reality Reconstructionist will explore the potential and impact of these technologies for academy recruits, law enforcement officers, and their agencies. Law enforcement agencies are responsible for maintaining the public safety and enforcing the law. To fulfill these responsibilities, officers must have the necessary skills and knowledge to handle various situations, from traffic stops to high-stress scenarios like active shooter incidents. The traditional approach to training law enforcement officers has often relied on classroom lectures, written tests, mock scenarios, and physical training. However, these methods have their limitations. Written tests do not provide practical experience, while physical training can be dangerous and expensive. With new technologies, law enforcement agencies can enhance their training programs to prepare officers for the challenges they may face. Two recent technologies that have gained popularity with 3D scanning and virtual reality training. So let's explore the 3D scanning and virtual reality training can benefit the public safety. 3D scanning technology has revolutionized how public safety approaches crime scene investigation and analysis. With a 3D scanner, investigators can capture highly accurate and detailed representations of crime scenes, accident sites, or complex environments. These digital representations allow investigators to examine evidence more thoroughly, revisit scenes for additional analysis, and even share the data with experts for further insights. The use of 3D scanning has several benefits of public safety. First, it allows investigators to capture a comprehensive and accurate representation of a crime, crash, or arson scene. Traditional crime scene investigation methods rely on photographs, sketches, and measurements taken by hand. However, photographs, sketches, and measurements taken by hand. However, these methods are prone to errors and may only capture some necessary information. With 3D scanning, officers can capture the entire scene, including details that may have missed otherwise. Second, 3D scanning reduces the time required to process a crime scene. Traditionally, methods have taken hours or even days to document a crime scene fully. However, with a 3D scanner, officers can capture the necessary data in a few hours, which has been found to reduce the on-scene time to measure a scene up to 50%. It has been my experience that most 3D scenes being documented take 10 to 15 scans to document the scene itself. This is a 1 to 2 hour process. The expedited time on the scene allows investigators to clear a scene quicker and provide thousands of options for measuring the location. Third, 3D scanning allows investigators to revisit a crime scene virtually. Once the crime scene has been scanned, investigators can use the digital representation to revisit the scene virtually. This can be especially useful when the physical scene is no longer accessible or additional analysis is required. Virtual revisits allow the investigators to examine the scene from different angles and perspectives, witness points of view, and potentially reveal the evidence or insights, and potentially reveal new evidence or insights. Finally, 3D scanning can improve communications and collaboration among investigators. Digital representations of crime scenes can be easily shared with experts such as forensic specialists, administration, or even law enforcement agencies. This can facilitate collaboration and improve the overall quality of the investigation. So let's look at a case study, the murder of Joshua Chellew, that's Charles Henry Edward, Lincoln Edward William. One high-profile case where the 3D scanning was used extensively was the murder of Joshua Chellew. Chellew was a patron at the Chevron gas station in Georgia. An altercation ensued between Chellew and 3 men. This altercation led to the beating and later death of Chellew. And this investigation was taken on by District Attorney Jesse Evans, requesting the scene be scanned by David Dustin of Dustin Forensics. The 3D scans were completed due to the multiple witnesses and to show the suspect's intent as they chased the victim into the street. After beating Chellew unconscious, he was left in the roadway where he was later hit by a passing car. The use of 3D scanning in the Chellew case showcased the potential of this technology in complex investigations. It demonstrated how 3D scanning can enhance the accuracy and efficiency of crime scene analysis, leading to a more comprehensive understanding of the evidence. The Chellew case also allows jurors to see the scene in 3D to place themselves in a witness view, where they had unobscured visibility to see what had occurred. David Dustin passed last month. The virtual reality reconstructionist and I would like to dedicate this episode to David Dustin for his immense advancements of 3D scanning, as well as educating users and the public safety on the potential of the digital technology. Thank you, David Dustin. So let's move into virtual reality training. While 3D scanning allows investigators to capture and analyze crime scenes, Virtual reality training takes public safety training to a new level. Virtual reality training offers law enforcement officers a safe and controlled environment to simulate real-life scenarios. Not only can they learn from the 3D environment, but eventually 3D data can be integrated into virtual reality simulations, and officers can train for various situations such as an active shooter incident, hostage negotiation, or even traffic stops. These training scenarios can be done in a general format, or 3D scanners can integrate local buildings or incidents into the training programs. Virtual reality training has several advantages over traditional training methods. First, it provides officers with a realistic and immersive training experience. Conventional classroom lectures or written tests can only partially prepare the officers for a sensory overload and a stress they may experience in real-life situations. Virtual reality simulations, on the other hand, recreate these scenes with a high level of realism, allowing officers to practice their decision-making skills, communication techniques, and tactical responses in a controlled environment. Second, in traditional training, opportunities to practice critical skills may be limited due to logistical constraints or safety concerns. With virtual reality simulations, officers can repeat scenarios as many times as necessary to refine their techniques and build muscle memory. This repetition enhances learners and helps officers respond more effectively in high-pressure situations. Third, virtual reality training can be customized to meet specific training needs. Law enforcement agencies can create visual scenarios tailored to their jurisdiction and the type of situations officers are likely to encounter. This customization ensures that officers receive relevant and applicable training to their daily work. Finally, virtual reality training reduces the risk associated with physical training. In traditional physical training, officers may be exposed to various risks such as injuries or exposure to dangerous situations. Virtual reality eliminates these risks, allowing officers to train without endangering themselves or others. This enhances officer safety and reduces the liability for law enforcement agencies. So, case study on virtual reality training will be active shooter training. One area where virtual reality training has proven particularly effective is active shooter training. Active shooter incidents pose significant challenges to law enforcement officers, requiring rapid decision-making, effective communication, and tactical responses. Virtual reality simulations allow officers to practice these skills in a realistic and immersive environment. For example, the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, has implemented virtual reality training for active shooter scenarios. Officers are equipped with a virtual reality headset and simulated firearms. They are then placed in virtual environments replicating actual locations where active shooter incidents have occurred. Officers must navigate the environment, identify threats, and make split-second decisions on neutralizing the threat while minimizing casualties. The virtual reality training provided by LAPD allows officers to experience the stress and complexity of active shooter situations in a safe and controlled environment. By practicing these scenarios repeatedly, officers develop the skills and confidence necessary to respond effectively in real-life incidents. In conclusion, the 3D scanning and virtual reality training have transformed law enforcement training programs, provide officers and enhanced tools and experiences. 3D scanning enables investigators to capture accurate and detailed representations of crime scenes, improve the quality of evidence analysis, and facilitating collaboration among investigators. Virtual reality training, on the other hand, offers law enforcement officers safe and controlled environment to simulate real-life scenarios, allowing them to practice decision-making skills, communication techniques, and tactical responses. While these technologies have significant benefit, their implementation does come with challenges. Initial costs, training requirements, and ongoing maintenance are essential considerations for law enforcement agencies. However, as technology advances and becomes more accessible, these challenges are gradually being addressed. As law enforcement agencies strive to help to enhance officers' preparedness and improve public safety, 3D scanning and virtual reality training offer exciting possibilities. The continued integration of these technologies into law enforcement training programs will undoubtedly shape the future of law enforcement, ensure that officers are better equipped to handle the complex challenges they may face in the line of duty. That's all for today's episode of the Virtual Reality Reconstructionist. If you enjoyed this show, please be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. And if you have any feedback, suggestions, or questions for us, you can reach out to me personally at ryan.rider@rrinvestigations.com. That's RYAN.RIDER at sign TRIPLERINVESTIGATIONS.com. Please note that the view and opinions expressed on this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Virtual Reality Reconstructionist, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe and stay curious.